So these are the plans for this room. As you can see, we're mainly interested in the wall behind the bed. I need to run the wires to the bedside lamps and the sockets on the either side of the bed. This is a preview plan because after speaking with the client, it will look slightly different, but you'll see it later. The position of the main lights needs to be changed and the wires will come down from the top. So the ceilings are already open to accommodate the wires. The easiest part in this case is to make new additional sockets. From the previous inspection, I know that the single socket on the wall is a part of the ring final circuit, and convert that into two new ones, it's not a problem at all. There were also surprises, such as double, triple joist and the water pipe. The drilling will be difficult, but it can be done. So far, after cutting, no water has poured from the ceiling and nothing has been damaged, so the operation has been successful. Moving to the next wall, there are supposed to be some backlight cabinets there. However, as you can see, this is just preview drawing, so I don't know exactly what kind of lighting will be there. That's why I left the cable sticking out of the wall a little longer for the future. There's a bathroom behind the wall. I've already done first and second fixing there. There's nothing interesting at the moment, so I'll show you some footage from the renovation, and we will get back to this later. Then we move on to planning the installation. At the first glance, there's nothing complicated. There's one double switch, one socket, and one lamp on each side of the bed. Both lamps will have the dimming option, and it must be possible to turn them on and off on both sides of the bed. If one person falls asleep, the other will be able to turn the lights off. Throwing wires cannot be accidental. We have specified zones where we can run the cables and the maximum and minimum height for accessories, but that's mainly for the new build. If the electrical installation is done correctly, this will prevent problems during minor repairs, alteration, hanging the pictures, etc. Unless Mr. Handyman didn't do his homework and drove a nail into the wires before checking from which direction they were going. You can do this very simply by unscrewing the socket or switch and checking from which side the wires comes from. Returning to the job, there are a few ways to do this. For me, the easiest way will be to cut walls lengthwise, widewise. However, we want to minimize the wall damage, so I choose to drop the cables from the ceilings. This will be less invasive plan, but you'll see why in the next stage of the project. After consulting all ideas with the project manager, the plan was approved and now the job will begin. All the wires are out, so I start by verifying what they are. In this part I won't bore you and I will speed up the video and explain what's happening. So, all the old wires need to be cut out. But before I do that, I need to ensure I know what I'm doing to avoid mistakes and creating more work for myself. Basically, I need to test each wire, be absolutely sure of its location. Once I verify this, I can cut the wires out. As you can see on the video, originally there was a partition wall and the lights were turned on separately. Now we need to eliminate that and create one single light in the middle of the room. A few weeks ago I've been looking into these spotlights and I remember there was something wrong with it. As you can see in the video, there are wires coming from the first to the third one, from the third one to the middle, so I had to be sure I knew what's going on in there. It's quite late now, so I drop a few more cables and I guess that will be all for today. I will put camera in here so you can see what I'm doing. We have another day. It's lovely Wednesday morning. Don't know how recording ended yesterday, but I'm currently at the stage when I'm installing new wires. I still have to close up the ceilings, then dress up the cables to make them ready for another stage. So let's do it. I've got all in, and now what remains is to arrange all them nicely. In this part, I will be using electrical tape or insulation tape. But the interesting thing is that we don't use this tape to isolate the wires. What I mean is using that tape for any electrical connectors and leaving them inside the walls, ceiling or floors may result in a loss of NIC/AC accreditation and the business will disappear from the market. However, what you are using for connections is a maintenance-free junction box. What does it mean? Basically, the connection inside the box will not require any maintenance, and the access to the junction box will require use of a tool. In that case, manufacturer instructions saying that the zip tie classified this junction box as a maintenance-free. So if in your home you will find a connection like this one, it may mean that your electrical installation needs to be inspected and tested for yours and your family's safety. What next? All wires are installed and the first weeks of the installation is finished. What left to do is close the ceilings, and we will move to the next part, which is installation of the switches and sockets, called second fix. In the further part of video you will see why I wanted these wires go this way, not the other. I will point out that the use of any cappings for the wires in this type of installation is not required, but maybe it's topic for another time. Right, the room now is painted and we can go to the next stage of the project, which is installation of the accessories, switches, sockets, lamps, etc. Because the lamps going to be controlled from both sides of the bed, there are quite few conductors, but that's not a problem. As mentioned before, the lamps will be connected to the dimmer switches and the socket will have USB ports. Both accessories having sensitive electronics inside them, and for initial verification we need to use conventional switches. Why we do that? Part of the testing is a test named insulation resistant test, when we passing 500 volt through the wires and electronic components inside them can be damaged. What you're looking at, it's not official test. I only checking for myself if the wires are connected correctly, but maybe in the future I do something about the testing. What we have here is typical light fixture. Junction box intended for connection, it barely fits inside the box itself. We have 600 pages in the requirements for electrical installation book, but nobody cares what manufacturer selling to the customers. In the final part you can see how important was to arrange wires correctly. Basically all chasing has been covered by wood, and that saves the time with the all decoration jobs. Now I show you how it turned out. It's a beautiful bedroom with the bathroom ensuite. The furniture doesn't arrive yet, but all major jobs have been finished. We having heating floor in the bathroom, downlights are controlled by the dimmer, mirror has options to change the colors, and in the loft we have installed powerful inline fan that is divided in 2 points, one in the middle of the bathroom and the second one directly in the shower, so there is no chance for the damp in the future. I'm Chris and this is my first video. I hope you like it. So if you reached the end, thank you for watching. I will add new content whenever possible, so please follow my channel and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.